So, it's an awkward face. If you don't know this is a book called Here by Richard McGuire, or graphic novel. It's a book, it's literature. But, inexplicably, they're making a movie out of this. And that'll be hard, really, really, really hard to do, and it's going to be with Tom Hanks, who's going to star in it, which is, well, we'll see. It's a hard concept to kind of suss through, and it's going to be directed by Robert Zemeckis, who, I mean, I know exactly what, anyway, I'm kidding. And I feel, well, Here is about a room. It's about a single room. A single room and a single shot of that room. And it does not deviate once. But it's about a single shot, and it tells the entire story of that shot of that one room over pretty much the entire course of human history. It starts in the 50s. Starts in the 50s. It's been a second since I read this. It starts in the 50s, and it'll go to like 10,000 BC to 2200 to 30. It goes kind of all over the world, and it's presented like, if you've ever seen it before, and I'm sure people who have maybe clicked on this video randomly or just want to learn about it. And first of all, the art is absolutely beautiful, and I don't want to open it too much because it's like not great for the book, but I'm very Here accomplishes something that I don't think has been really achieved much, or is attempted maybe. It shows the entire experience of humanity in a single book, and that's a tall as hell order, but it pulls it off. And it's innovative, like panel concept is what really makes it, because it's like these beautiful like contrasts and stuff. And I don't want to describe it too much because I just want people to like dive in and read it, but it's just so amazing. Like, I got it as a lark, and I was legitimately gobsmacked by it when I read it. And I had to read it like 100 times, and then I brought it along with me for a week, and I would like sit friends down and say, you have to fucking read this now. And I mean, look at that. That's a pretty good contrast right there. Oh, 1992. That was the year I was born. My world was infected. Oh, this one's funny. This one takes this is if you can see, 1986, and ding dong, woo. Every day the mailman comes on the bark, and the dog barks, and the mailman goes away. The dog thinks he has protected us once again from an intruder, but that's told in 1954. You know, it's stories like these are all about finding like cycles of humanity, and I think there's something fundamentally beautiful about like looking into the past and finding like yourself in there, finding reference, like finding like how people went through similar struggles. And it really emphasizes that. And it kind of shows like what is possible with a comic when you start thinking of it as just a cheap place to adapt things from. It's incredibly depressing to me that comics are the basis for so many of the most popular films in the world, so many of the most beloved things in the world, and yet the comics themselves are so inherently dismissed as less than, as worthless. I don't know. It's a depressing concept, in the least, that a truly great art form is considered a lesser art form. And it's frustrating on a deep level because I love comics, and I want them to be finally. And I thought finally, like, with the fact that like now one of the biggest film franchise of all time is comic based, that we would finally get over this. But no, I see, it's just comic storytelling still used as a divisive manner. Like, imagine if, like, books were treated this way, like literature, regular word prose books were treated this way. It's like, thank God movies and television fixed Ulysses. Thank God they improved it finally. That would be ridiculous. That would be a crime to hear people talk like that, but it's just casually mentioned. And I wonder what the production of this movie will do. I don't know. I don't really know. I know why this appeals to Zemeckis. I can tell already, because Zemeckis loves this is obvious. Zemeckis can use like special effects to tell. Whatever form this takes, they're clear. The fact that Tom Hanks, everybody loves Tom Hanks, everybody should love Tom Hanks, but the fact that Tom Hanks has been cited as a star in this means that they're probably going to change the story. And I honestly, like, I don't know how you can do this, because there's no real main character in this. It's just, I mean, honestly, the main character is the angle, the room. Not that room. And stuff like this, and Zemeckis is not that type of filmmaker. He's a very interesting filmmaker and has made good movies, even great movies before. But this, I think it'll be fundamentally a tech showcase. And you know what? I'm fine. Maybe one or two people will be convinced to pick Here Up because of this. Maybe McGuire will get a nice paycheck because he's an acclaimed indie graphic novelist, and those guys don't get a lot of money. And maybe just maybe Zemeckis will tap into that like artistic like side of himself. Like, you know, like this is gonna sound incredibly pretentious, but like maybe somebody like Jean-Luc Godard or somebody, you know, would be a good pick. Although Godard would go way over the top with it, but like, who did it? Hiroshi Shimamura? Boy. See, I would look this up on my phone, but I'm using my phone to film. You know, it needs something of like a French New Wave feel to it. And that is just, you know, what these things require. And here, words and talking, words, so that there's no so that there's no Alan Renas, Stan Lee's best friend. He would probably do a really good job with this, but I don't know. I just don't know. For some reason, I'm not angry about it, even though this is like one of my favorite comics of all time. I don't know why I'm not angry about it. Mainly because I guess my main thought is I think it would be really hard to like pull this off. And here is such an example of what graphic novels, like comics or whatever bullshit term you want to use, like using it to its full potential as a story, that it's pretty hard to impossible to kind of replicate it. And it honestly, you may need a new approach to it to like tell the story in the way that it should be told to get the sense by. And Zemeckis has made great things in the past. He could potentially, even in recent history, he's made some good things. But I don't know. I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic that at least some people will read this. Some people will read this, and will cause some people to read this. And it's like, look at this. Look at this, guys. See? Isn't this so amazing? My criticism with this book, I wish I could get it just like flat. I guess there's an ebook version of this. I didn't know about this till recently, that it will randomize the panels if you want. So that's all I gotta say. Read it, please. Just read it. Do yourself a favor. Be bold. Be bold and embrace things that you may not be comfortable with. There is so much great and wonderful art out there that people seem scared to attempt to appreciate. They think it's above them. They think it's beyond them. And the truth of the matter is that learn great art, to fundamentally appreciate great art, to love the weird and the strange and the unusual, you have to accept the fundamental thing is that you don't know what the fuck's going on in your but that's okay. And that is what great art is supposed to be. You are supposed to come to truly appreciate something. You come in there not knowing what it is. And I think in a way, you'll learn to love it that way. And that's how I always approach things. I approach things knowing I know nothing, and I'm there to experience it. And I feel that's a good way to live your life, is to just be comfortable with being insecure. Be comfortable with being unsure. And at some point, you become sure. At some point, because that is where you learn to live that is where you can find it, where you can find happiness, where you can improve yourself, is the comfort in the unknown. Okay. Batman's also a pretty cool character. Bye.